Hello, I'm Mar DiCarlo. I am the founder of the International Parenting and Health Institute. And today I wanted to share the following question with all of you and my response. From your experience with clients that were completely out of sync before working with you, how much time on average do you see babies need until they sync their biological clock and their sleep improves significantly in quality and quantity? In other words, from a biological point of view, how much time does the body of a baby need to get in sync after being out of sync for a long time, assuming you did everything right in order to promote baby's sync? It's an interesting question because if we are assuming that we did everything right to promote the baby's clock in sync, then technically we should see progress and there wouldn't be an issue. But where I want to go with this is that these general questions are a bit tricky and very misleading because there is so much tied into what may be getting in the way of a child's biological clock and what might be the appropriate solution. It's not a simple general answer. And so if I were to provide a family some research and say to them, oh, here's some studies that show that, these amount of babies, it usually takes this amount of time. And then this family is going to compare their child to this study and their child does not produce the same results. You can imagine the frustration that goes through, right? We also have to assume that the circumstances in that family, the exact same circumstances, the exact same health history, present day health, family lifestyle dynamics is exactly the same as all the families in the study, okay? Because it's all tied together. And so this is why I I definitely do refer to general studies and general things as a foundation, as a blueprint, but I rarely will go by those as a basis to how I uncover root causes and solutions for my clients. I always work with specific information. I am a detective, okay? As a holistic practitioner, I am a detective. I not only have learned how to connect all the dots and understand how the human body functions, not just within ourselves, but within a whole family dynamic or whoever we're in relation with in our household. But in addition to that, I understand that there are a number of things, decisions and habits from the past that led up to this point today. And until I gather all that information and understand specifically what has happened, what led up to this point, no general study is really going to support me. It may, but at that point, I'm just kind of playing an assumption game. And I don't like to play assumption games. I like to get to the root. I like to hit that bullseye. I like to get it straight from the very beginning, okay? If I can. And most times I can. I responded and I said, great question. This depends on so many factors. Can you either post here or email us all the specific details of the case? The timing, right, of when a child will sync their biological clock, if it's been out of sync for a while, I said is going to vary. It will not be exact for every child. You can have 10 babies out of biological sync, and the timing of returning to a homeostasis depends on what specifically is related to the child's past and present state, amongst many other things. It's great to work with studies as a foundation, as an understanding, but we have to really understand each case specifically. If you really want to get to the root of what's going on, we have to understand that case, right? When we're doing that detective work, we have to understand what is going on specifically in that situation. But let me address this because this is a huge issue amongst the sleep consulting industry. I see it happen all the time. This actually happens in a variety of industries, the health industry in general, right? Weight loss and so many other health challenges that go on, and people want that quick fix. They want that magic bullet. And when they don't see that quick fix, when they don't see those immediate changes happen, a frustration happens, right? I would like some evidence-based biological facts to back up my reassurance to them. The first thing that I want to say is that often when we're so focused on the end result, we lose incredible sight of the progress. And as responsible and high quality holistic practitioners, it is our job to support our clients to stay focused on the progress, because if there is progress, we are headed to our goal. When I start to question more, and I'm always questioning, I'm going to talk about that also, the importance of questioning and asking why, is when I'm not seeing any progress. So the first thing that I would say here is, If the parents are getting disappointed because they're not seeing immediate results, I then want to go to progress. Is there progress? If there's not progress, why? Then something in that solution that was given is out of sync. Something wasn't uncovered, something needs to be reevaluated, something needs to be done differently. Because if there is no progress within that amount of time, then something differently has to be done, okay? Something's not working. So the first thing that I get clear with all my clients is the importance of progress and how progress is what is leading us toward our goal. And we can't lose sight of progress. And so I get them excited and motivated about the progress. If you provide evidence-based biological facts to reassure them that sometimes it takes some more time, that might give them some reassurance, but really the most reassurance is letting them know what's going on specifically in their situation. So let's just say I'm working with a family and so much is tied to the reason why a child's biological clock has been out of sync for a while. First of all, we have to know what the age of the child is, what is going on, the whole family dynamics, their lifestyle, habits, etc. There's so much tied into it. It's not a simple general answer, right, across the board. And so if we do have all the appropriate things in place, we should see progress. If we're not, something is out of alignment. If we're not, something has to be reevaluated and changed in that situation. So the reassurance I give parents is always going back to the progress and also their mindset and how they're approaching the situation, because our perspective and the parent's perspective to the situation, how we approach the situation is very powerful. Okay? The way we perceive a situation, when we change the way we look at things, the way we look at things change. This absolutely applies when we are facing challenges with our children. And oftentimes when parents are frustrated and when parents have unrealistic expectations that are happening, and you add that to the mix, naturally, if they're not getting the results they expect and from how they're perceiving it, it will add more frustration. So besides being focused on the progress, also reevaluating and understanding what is getting in the way, getting to the root of it. Nature has its own divine timing. And depending on what's happened in the past, what led up until this point, the current family dynamics, health and lifestyle, commitment, consistency, etc., on and on, those will all then tell us how likely and when we will have a result. It's not going to be the same for everyone. Rather than getting stuck on the when am I going to see that end goal? It's important to be very present and ask ourselves in the present moment, are we showing up 100% optimally for this situation? Are all of the things that are necessary to support this goal happening? How am I showing up as a parent? How am I showing up as a consultant? What is my state of mind? What is my energy? Have I been open and curious? Have I uncovered the root cause? Am I being consistent? Am I being persistent, but also flexible? Am I trusting nature's timing? So I'll give you a great example. Bodybuilding, okay? Any physical goal that someone has just does not happen overnight. Things take time. When someone will achieve a certain measure of strength, will lose a certain amount of weight, whatever physical changes that they want to undergo, when that timing happens depends on that person's history, where they are at the present moment, and all these other factors that go into the natural unfolding of a shift in transition into where they want to go. The key is to focus on the progress. That is the number one thing. So while there are general trends, okay, there's general trends, what happens is through comparison, parents become very frustrated, really staying so fixated on those general trends. Baby sleep patterns are going to vary, and they change over time. And to really understand what's best and what's most appropriate for our families, okay, and if you're a consultant, what you're going to advise a family is to really understand specifically, not generally, specifically what is going on. If you've done all the appropriate things and there's no progress, then something was missed. And there has to be a reevaluation done to see what was missed. If you did all the appropriate things and there is progress and the parents are frustrated because you have not reached the end goal, then you bring the parents' focus back to the progress and you remind them that the progress is already leading to the goal, that the goal is being attained and it's happening through this transition. Our society has reached a place where the expectation is that things will just happen. Nature is not designed in a snap of a finger to just happen. There's a beautiful unfolding and a beautiful timing. And it will vary from person to person, group to group, situation to situation, depending on a whole host of factors involved. And so for us to really support any family in this way, in the best way, to support them, encouraging them, motivating them, right, keeping them going, we want to be able to show them, we want to give them the why. I want to share this too. Asking why is one of the most important questions scientists ask. It is actually the first step of the scientific method. And that is why I introduced and I call my method that I introduced to our program at the International Parenting and Health Institute, to our maternity and child sleep and adult sleep program, the Holistic Science of Sleep method, because we combine holistic thinking and application with the scientific method. We follow the scientific method all the way through. This is not about bias. It's not about, what we think or believe. It's really about looking at the specifics to a specific case and using the specifics of that case, uncovering whatever is, doing a full thorough evaluation, full thorough investigation, evaluation, collecting all the data, and then supporting that situation with specific solutions, personalized, customized solutions. So asking why is one of the most important questions scientists ask. It's actually the first step of the scientific method. All good scientists start by asking, why does such and such happen? So again, in this situation where the question was, sometimes parents get disappointed when they don't get immediate results. Why? Okay, let's go into that. Before we just go and grab a scientific research paper to ease them, let's get them to understand why. Okay? Is there progress, but they're just getting frustrated because they're so focused on the end goal? Okay? If so, we need to go to the real why of why they're disappointed, okay? Because the reality is, if there's progress, we're headed to that goal. And so why the frustration? Why the disappointment? Okay. And then the other thing is, if there is no progress and we assumed we have done all the right things, but there's no progress, then we have missed something and we have to go back. We have to reevaluate the entire situation to understand, what did we miss? Sometimes it's a very subtle thing. Okay. And that subtle thing could literally even be the way we're approaching it, the way the parents are approaching it. There's so many aspects to this, even consistencies, emotional availability, nutrition, light, dark. There's just so much tied in. And so again, that is why doing a full, thorough investigation, full and thorough, not making assumptions, not being so general, not getting stuck in this research, that research. Research is great. It's fabulous. I love research. I'm a researcher. I love research. But I understand that the research helps to support me in the specifics. Having that general understanding is wonderful, but so that it can actually support me to get more specific with the cases that I'm working on, not less. If you're a holistic practitioner, you're not just going to use general research as something to depend or rely on just to appease or ease the frustration of your clients. It's the opposite. You're actually going to uncover the root cause of what's going on and get very, very specific, super detailed and specific. Because when you do, and when they have that understanding, they're going to actually be more driven and more motivated toward supporting whatever steps need to happen and the goal. and do it in a way that's more relaxed. Because when there's these expectations, when there's these comparisons, when we're so focused on generalities, when we really don't understand what is going on, including the progress and the processes of life's timing with changes that happen, then what happens is that people get so frustrated that inside they're not relaxed. When you're not relaxed and when your nervous system is in a sympathetic state and it is not relaxed, it's not going to rest. It's not going to easily fall asleep. And the children will feel that too. And so if their parents are not relaxed, okay, you gave them a research paper, but they're seeing, okay, it's been 2 weeks now, why is my child not? That frustration will build. But if they understand once again how progress works, how timing works, how they are showing up works, okay? And again, when we're very focused on progress and understand if there's progress, we're headed to the goal. Nothing to be frustrated, disappointed about. Just patience. Patience, trust, relaxing. And through that relaxation, we're going to actually most likely get there quicker. But if there's no progress, that is a clue and a key that we need to go back and reevaluate the situation and see what was missed. Okay, I hope that helps. I feel you all, and I understand the amount of passion and dedication that you consultants have to support these families. I also feel for you families. I have 2 children, 13 and 8. I know how it is. I know how much we want to support our children and we want to see those results. I'm with you. But there's this real beauty when we can sink in and align with life's timing and with how life works. If we look at a garden, right, and all the beautiful varieties of things that grow in a garden, they all have their own timing. I completely relate to wanting to see those quick results. It's natural, it really is. But then there's also this beauty when you have this ability to relax and trust life's timing. And the beauty about this is that you can find that relaxation when you're celebrating the progress. The progress that is happening are the changes that are leading us toward our goal. And we often overlook that progress. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for that question. That was a really great question. And I'm happy I had the opportunity to share with all of you my insights. If you want to learn more, please check us out at parentinghealthinstitute.com.